Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and early friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I always appreciate your presence. Let's melt more into being, shall we? As we get melty, I do want to start off on a positive note, a profound note, a thought-provoking note, if you will. Something worth saying. You cannot possess love unless you set it free. That one is a little bit cliche. Yeah, sure, I think we know that one, right? This one is a good one, though. Feeling is the way to awaken. Feeling is the way to awaken. I didn't bring myself a blanket, so it's gonna be a cold stream, I'm predicting already. I think it's okay, though. Let's see how long I can sit in the cold while also being comfortable doing that. I am going to start rolling myself a cheeky little joint. Is this thing actually going live is my question. It is. It is. Old Yeller and Jovan has already joined me. Thank you for joining me, Jacob, dude. How have you been, dude? Yesterday you tuned into stream, but I couldn't see your message. I still greeted you, even though I knew I wasn't technically greeting you. I don't know. I was like greeting the imagination of Jacob. But it's nice to have you here again, friend. How have you been, man? It's been a while. It feels like it's been forever since we actually caught up, had a chat about how you're doing. So do tell. Do pray tell. How have you been, friend? How have you been? How's life been treating you? Dunk. Just look at that. Breaking little nugs off of my own homegrown. It brings me so much joy. This nug might be a little bit too big. There we go. Jovan, good morning, Yeller and Meltman. Good morning, Jovan. Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Candace. Good morning, Yater. How have you friends been? How have you friends been? Like, you're on day... Isn't it day 6 or day 7 for you today, Jovan? Of your fast? How have you been feeling doing that, friend? And it should be day... Is it 28 for you, Candace? How far are you friends if you're fasting? Hello, hello. I missed everyone this last week. We missed you as well, Yater. Thank you for joining us again, friend. Where have you been? Where have you been? How has life been treating you, dude? I know it gets busy. It's what makes me so happy that, even though we get busy with whatever it is we're doing in our own lives, we still get to come together in this space at the end of all of the chaos. There's a bird doing the weirdest of shenanigans. Oh, he's eating little pieces of nuts. Like, we have a bunch of like bagged nuts here. My mom makes like baked goods with pecans and stuff. So she said she bought like a bunch of husked pecans. Is that how you call it? They still have their shells on them. I'm not sure. Raw? I don't know. One of those words. So like as we crack the nuts, like some of the pieces of like all, like, why can't I fucking 4 words today? Pecans have those little woody pieces in between them, and they have little furls. So woody pieces get stuck. As you're missioning to get these woody pieces out, sometimes you flick little pieces of nuts out as well. And that little bird was resourceful enough, or wise enough, or curious enough to figure out that there are small flecks of nuts everywhere on that table. So he's helping himself. It's nice to have a little friend join us as well. Whoa, almost there, Viking Queen. Day 29, damn. Yeah, so one more day, right? So today is your 29th day. Are you going to go the entire tomorrow without eating? Or are you going to, like, break your fast on the 30th day? I'm curious, Candace. Jacob says, I've been sick yesterday and today. I have a video doctor's appointment today. That bud looks real nice. I have been good though, aside from feeling a little sick in the last few days. How are you? I'm doing well as well. Thank you, Jacob. I feel a little bit all over the place today already. I feel like I'm having a hard time getting the words in my brain out of my mouth. But that's completely fine. You know, it happens. It happens. It's a part of the process. Feeling like you know what you want to say, feeling like you don't know what you want to say. Both of them are feeling. And today's, thing worth saying is feeling is the way to awaken. Feeling is going to be the way to awaken. Makes me think. I'm doing 32. I thought my fast would end on 30 days, but 2 more days will be my daughter's birthday. Okay, so do you want to break your fast on their birthday? To enjoy their confectionaries with them, if you will? Do tell us what your plan is, friend, if you don't mind sharing. I went on vacation to South Carolina. It was beautiful, but definitely was lacking some milk more in my life. Glad to be back in the routine. Glad to have you here again, friend. Glad to have you here again, Yader. I hope that South Carolina was, as you said, a blissful, beautiful experience, and that it's gonna stay with you in a positive way for the time being. I appreciate you being back with us, Yader. We missed you as well, my man. Sending you love. Congratulations on your fasting, Viking. You were almost there. She really is. You're in the home stretch. I'm day 7. Gonna start consuming other liquids tomorrow, like miso soup and broths. Joe Bot be on Bo. Oh, really? Dude. Javan? That is really trippy. I don't know if you saw Toasty's message about, synchronicity, but I literally watched Inside, Bo Burnham's Inside today. A few hours ago. That's a trip, Siobhan. Stop it! Stop it! Stop! I can't! Oh, it's too much. It's too much. You see, this is something Toasty said as well. It's these things happen over and over and over again. And at what point does it stop being a coincidence, right? The fact that on this specific day, you chose to mention something about it. After I've watched it as well, it was fantastic, Javan. I don't know how you found it, but hot damn. It inspired me to make music again. Or I'm not sure if it inspired me to make music again. It inspired me to the point where I actually took up the idea of making music as something that I would actually want to do. Not just, something that, oh yeah, maybe I'll make some music, but I would love to, at some point, maybe with the help of friends or whatever, make some decent music. Because damn, it was quite something. He touches on some mental health topics as well, and what people went through with the whole lockdown. Very, very artistic, expression that he did an amazing job. The fact that he did it alone, Jovan. The fact that it was literally him and a camera and a bunch of lights, and he made this, as you say, a special. It is definitely something special. It's fantastic. It blew my mind. Hope you feel better, Jacob. I do so as well. You kind of look like Weird Al. Oh, goodness. That's the first time I've ever heard. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you being here with us. Likewise, feel better, Jacob. I'm sure he will. With all of you friends sending him the good vibes, I'm sure he's going to be up and at him in no time. Like a stoner 80s Weird. I am legit the healthiest I've been in my entire life. I'll show you a pic of me in high school in Discord and show you where I started. I'm not even a bit surprised, Viking Queen, because we know what you're doing right now is something that is, I feel, almost lost technology to our world. People don't realize that fasting can be ultra beneficial to our bodies. Okay. My intention. Articulation. I feel articulation is my intention. I feel like I'm having a hard time saying words. So, saying words good, yes. Do I know how to spell articulation? I don't think it matters, but I'm gonna try. Articulation? Articulation. Articulation. It's so horribly wrong, which makes it even better because I'm literally smoking it with the intent of being able to articulate. a little bit better. Spelling with my, or using my mouth as a spelling tool for my thoughts. And using words as letters to spell ideas instead of using letters to spell words. Yes. Yes, I feel like I'm a crazy person. Let's melt more into that. Oh, awesome! Excited to see your progress, Candace. I'm looking forward to seeing that picture. No sweets for me, lol. Just mozzarella cheese and hot tomato soup. Mozzarella cheese and hot tomato soup sounds like bliss, though. Like no, like low key actually sounds like a good time. Wayne's World. I'm not worthy, though, Jeff. What? What? Am I missing something, Jovan? Your outfits are always so amazing. Thank you. It's red and black is like the theme today. Maybe a little bit of green. I appreciate you appreciating it, friend. Cringe, cow boob. I like your username, dude. Jobot, I'm so proud of you and rooting for you, Sam. Me too, dude. It hit home. Like I watched the older videos and cried like a wiener. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Bo, that dude is like on some other level as well. The amount of self-awareness, the stuff he says, I just love it. No such thing as coincidence. No such thing, Nate. You're so right, friend. There is no such thing. Man, like, this is okay. So I was literally typing out today's title with this knowing of what I'm saying, right? Where I'm tuning like, oh yeah, I don't believe in fate or whatever. But then stuff like this happens, with Jovan, where we happen to have both gotten into Bo Birmingham? I've forgotten his surname already. Bo Burnham. There we go. We both got into Bo Burnham's content at the exact same time. And Jovan, is, I want to say, a little bit conservative. Not conservative, but a little bit conservative with the amount of comments she sends. So if I had to, do the calculations of what are the odds that she actually says something about Bo Burnham in stream, on top of the fact that I literally kind of felt like I only learned about Bo Burnham today with watching his special Inside, and then her choosing to in the same day, mention it after having gone through a weird circumstance talking to Toasty about things like this happening, and then typing into my comment, I don't believe in fate, it just feels almost comical. Because, maybe fate is not the right word necessarily. Maybe it should be just synchronicity. I think synchronicity is a better word. Because it's almost like fate. But it's like, I feel almost situation. Like it is almost fated that some things might happen. But you still have to be the one to take yourself to the places where those things will happen. And then as a result of you being in the right place at the right time, technically you are in sync with what the universe wants for you. Or, some understanding of that. So by literally being in sync, you experience more synchronicity. Does that make sense? I hope so. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm not necessarily to the point where I'm like, okay, this is how it works. I understand. Now I can apply this to my life. I don't understand it to that extent. I'm trying to understand it more and more. This is a conversation I try and have with my friends, as to what it's supposed to mean. What is it supposed to mean? How much value are we supposed to assign? Man, I'm not particularly happy with how this turned out. But I'm also not particularly happy with how my words are turning out at the moment. And that's why we're smoking this, for articulation. I'm going to speak good after smoking this joint, I'm sure. Even if fate does exist, I think we should live as if it does not. I do agree with that as well. I believe even if fate does exist, we should live as if it doesn't. And then when things happen that are almost, too good to be true, we should also allow ourselves to surrender to those moments and those feelings instead of shying away from them. Because it's this weird, back and forth in my own head of, wanting to in some way like think that things are going to be in a certain way, right? Like things are going to turn out good, if you will. Like let's keep it very basic. Like in my thinking of how the future will go, I'm imagining things going in a positive way. And I believe that things going in the positive way that they will go is influenced by the decisions I make right now. But I believe in the same sense, the decisions I'm making right now is influencing my future. So it's this like back and forth, like I feel almost relationship that you have with the universe, with source, with God, if you will, as well, where if you're willing, to really show up for things and to put the work in, if you will, almost like things come from that as a source. Instead of it being like this thing was going to be the thing you get no matter what every single time in your life. It's this like this is something you can get. It's fated that you can get this thing, but it's not fated that you will get this thing. Maybe like that's the way I'm trying to think of it. Santa stole my milk. Hello to you as well, friend. Hey Edmund, thank you for joining us. What is fate? Like I feel I gave a little bit of an explanation of what I think of it. Like, what do you think, Toasty? Please do tell me what your thoughts on it is, dude. Like, this is such a trippy feeling right now. Just the fact that, and you know what? Like, this is I think this is the part that's tripping me out about it, Jovan. It's not so much that you mention like Bo, but the fact that like watching Inside today has been the most significant or like emotionally influential thing that has happened to me today. Watching that and having myself feel the feelings that came from watching that piece of content or that show, that documentary, whatever you want to call it, musical even actually. And it was like such a significant thing, and I've been thinking about it all day, and it inspired me as well, to make music myself. And I wasn't even gonna say anything about it because I felt like it was a little bit edgy in nature. Like some of the things he said can be a little bit offensive, whatever, you know. And then just synchronicity instead of fate. Synchronicity, things happening in sync with one another. People talking about the same things in sync with one another. People wanting to share the same ideas in sync with one another. Uh, Articulation. Instead of a C. Interesting. I definitely misspelled it, but I feel like that is the intention as well. It's like it's me being tongue in mouth, tongue in cheek, ironic about the fact that I'm having a hard time being articulate today. Do you have energy though? I don't think I have anything, friend. Technically, right? Nothing I have is technically mine, including the energy I have, if you will. So no, I don't. Reticulum. So, oh, the articulation. I'm guessing you're trying to troll. I'm gonna tickle your action. Tickle your Asian. Articulation. Thank you, all for the well wishes. Thank you, old Yeller, for sharing with us, my friend, so that we can, in turn, send you the well wishes. All of the friends, I love you guys. That's beautiful. People who don't eat tend to have no energy and get a lot of cold. So, like when you don't eat, your body temperature does drop. So you are a little bit colder, but you don't necessarily have no energy. You just maybe have low energy. Hello, Nate. Thank you for joining us as well, friend. Articulation. Yeah. If you wanna like say it, articulation. It does like it flows, from my mouth. Like that's the thing as well. I'm articulate with English, to some extent. Better I can say than my family members, my immediate family members. But like when it comes to spelling, sometimes it can be a little bit of a yikes. I do appreciate my autocorrect. Love you, Jovan. You're a beautiful inside and out. There we go. Eternal love and blessings to you, Nate. Thank you, my friend. Cry like a wiener. Yeah. I've never. Maybe like I shouldn't go any further into that topic of discussion. I loved it. Yeah, it was so good, dude. It was so good. I'm happy that you saw it as well, Simon. Like, it feels like it's like me and you are also in tune with the things we were choosing to watch as well. The fact that you also watched that math video the day I was like talking about that stuff, man. Like, I understand quantum theories and I have an appreciation for it, but the math involved with calculating that shit goes right over my head. Right over my head. Like, I don't even have the smallest grasp. Thank you for the vibe, and Nate, I appreciate it. Lisa's here as well. Oh no. Uh, yeah, yeah. I also stopped myself. I wasn't gonna get any deeper into it. When a man drinks too much tea on a road trip. What? What? Your life is your karma. It's how you need. It's how you react to good and bad. So, like, this might be something controversial to say. Hey, TJ, thank you for joining us, friend. Thank you for being here with us, my man. I see you, dude. I see your little, shaded dude. Um, on your question though, let me just get a little bit into it of karma. And this is something controversial to say. I don't believe in karma because I believe in believing in karma, you're basically also admitting to being a victim, if even, a victim to your own decisions. I do believe there is more or less divinity to doing things, but I believe that in being more divine or less divine, you're just going to get more divine or less divine of an experience, be it throughout your life, be it at the end of your life, be it after life, continuum, if that makes any sense. I don't, however, believe like there is this number system, this tally being added up against you if you're like doing bad shit in your life, on a karmic level, because that would mean that you can like ruin the life of the I that you are in the future because of the decisions you've made naively now. And I don't believe that there's something that as would be paradoxically backwards and judgmental of the self if it would if it was to work that way. I'm not making any sense, but this is how I'm trying to understand it at least. I'm gonna smoke this articulation joint, damn it, and I'm gonna get good at speaking English again. I'm sure. Here we go. Articulation. Oh yes. The most eloquent of words is flowing to my vocabulary. I am starting to learn how to speak the language of the divine. I have chickens watching me all about. I wonder if you can see them behind me. Not exactly. Chickens. Man, like the rooster is super aggressive. Not like aggressive to the point where he's constantly trying to hurt them, but nonetheless super aggressive towards the smaller chickens. Like they're like teenage chickens right now. Like we'll throw some grains for them and he'll just like chase them away. And then they'll like one of the chickens will be so entrenched in eating grain on the floor and he will like sneak up behind them and like bite them. And I'm like, but dude, these are literally your children, man. Why are you like this? Man, dinosaurs. Freaking dinosaurs. And the fact that we are just allowing them, like we brought them here and we're just allowing them to do what it is they're doing. You can hear chickens running past me. I loved Inside. I felt like it was written for our generation. Oh, it was. It was definitely written for our generation, dude. Like the amount of just awareness, I can basically say just that. Just awareness in that was so inspiring, dude. Like I feel I wouldn't necessarily be able to make the same music he's making because he is making some music that is a little bit like at least the lyrical aspect of it doesn't necessarily induce a positive or like inspired feeling within yourself. And even though I'm saying that, I was so inspired by this dude's creation, Bo's creation, that I want to make music myself now again as well. Like just the it was amazing. Like the music he made in that like show, it's actually just amazing. It was so good to listen to, and where he like takes an intermission and he sings at you as like an audience member, right? And he asks you, "What do you think of it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's going too fast. It's going too slow." But don't tell me, right? He's like he sings this whole song of, "I want you to tell me what you think, or I'm curious about what you think of this show. If you're like playing in your phone, whatever it is you're doing, I'm curious about these things, but don't tell me." And that to me was like more of a trip than anything, just because we as human beings do sometimes do that, right? We we want things to be a certain way. We want friends to agree with us. We want our understanding of the world to be the understanding of the world, and we don't want people to tell us anything other than that. Man, it's something I'm trying to become more and more aware of. It's just allowing, not allowing necessarily, accepting criticism, and being truly open towards criticism in a way that it can be constructive to your own life. I know there's like a very like a difficult line to walk there between, taking criticism and using it constructively, and then just becoming completely enthralled in other people's opinions about you, which I also don't believe is healthy at the end of the day. Wasn't his light show amazing too? The lights were everything about it was brilliant, and I'm excited to be excited with you about it. Toasty, I know, really, you got it too. I needed a high five after watching it. Yeah, I felt that way as well, man. Like I would want to give him a high five after watching it. Like the end scene where he's like watching himself, like being aware of the show that he's made, being aware that he's creating this own scene where he is being laughed at, like he's this character in this show, like the a Truman. It gives you like the Truman Show vibes, and then like curling up into a ball as these laugh tracks are laughing over him, and him watching it himself, and then that small little grin that forms on his face at the end of it. It just, man, it makes you feel some things. That it really made me feel so many things. I did experience low energy 6 days out of the 30, and that was spread out, so maybe 3 days in a row. But I perked back up, and it was back at it. Like for me, the weakness or the low energy vibes of fasting is usually why I stop, because I believe I have a lot of energy in my way of expressing into the world. And then when I'm fasting, even though I feel I gain a lot of mental clarity, I feel I lose a lot of physical agility. And then as a result of that, I don't go for that long. So I've only gone for like 2 weeks max. I believe in sync all day. I have since I was little. Yeah, dude. Like it's for me, it's at this point where I no longer even get to have the option of not believing in it. Like it's been so just evident, right? Like there's been so many cases of it happening over and over and over and over again that I cannot ignore it anymore. Hey, I have a headache. I just wanted to say I love you. Love you all. Um, be nobody but you. Hey, Ed. Love you too, Kaval. Closing my eyes. I was thinking about you today, but I'm closing my eyes. I'm trying to like picture your face, your beautiful hair. I'm picturing you with a little like piece of paper in front of you, writing some poetry, and you just have like a big smile on your face, and this headache that you have is like slowly being alleviated. Like I don't know, this is probably not going to be something that is beneficial to all of you friends, but this is something that I do every single time I get a headache. I imagine my headache to be something with a little string attached to it, like a ball or a like let's it might be a little bit of a disturbing way of thinking about things, but like imagine the point of pain in your head, right, the headache itself, as like a ball of hair with the little end sticking out. And then I envision myself taking this string and then twirling it around my fingers, pulling this like string out where the headache is, And the more I move my hands, the shorter the little string becomes, and then I pull the head out of my head. And I'm not even joking. That's literally how I do it. I don't take medication for my headaches. I don't know if it can help. Like, I think it's just a visualization of it. I also become very focused on the headache when I do stuff like that. Kaval, I saw your karate practice. Awesome. Yeah, Kaval is a ninja. Man can kick. I can't get your banana poem out of my head. I'll sing it randomly. That's beautiful. Thank you for the helpful toasty. I appreciate you, my dude. Banana, banana. Oh, that's amazing. It's part of you now. Yeah, quite literally. Everything that we see, everything that we experience, everything that we eat, everything that we smell, everything that we hear, quite literally becomes a part of us. Like, that's the word Meltmore is just, it feels like it just fits in my life, because in so many cases that's what I'm doing, right? Even if it's, melting things apart of myself as well, like all of these experiences that we get to have with one another technically is being molten into our consciousnesses, right? Like, we're moving so fast and this experience is hitting us, but where is it going next? I believe it's just like being absorbed. Anyone with Disney Plus should check out the show Earth Moods. Super meditative, and the natural fractals are mind blowing. I want to see Earth Moods. Uncle Becky and Aunt B was telling me about it as well, but we don't have a Disney Plus account. Maybe like one day. Maybe like the day I'm supposed to watch Earth Moods is exactly when I get Disney Plus, and maybe that's like 10 years in the future or something. And then when I'm in that 10-year older mindset, when I'm 33 years old and I'm like chilling and I'm like, man, I wish I had something to watch that is like about Earth and would give me a real good mood. And I'm like, dunk, the light goes on. I'm like, oh yeah, that Earth Moods. Okay, so I'm smoking for articulation. I think I'm just gonna drink for the ridiculousness, the ridiculousness of life sometimes, and of these conversations that we have with one another. I perhaps went too hard today. Melt, stop copying me. No. I'm gonna continue breathing this oxygen. I'm gonna continue using my eyes. I'm gonna continue using my legs to walk. I'll copy you all I want, dude. Can't stop me. Lol, your articulation has improved. I noticed as well, Yater. I noticed as well, my friend. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it was something I induced, but I do believe, because of the intention that was set, this is the energy that's going to be returned to me. Being verbose is my thing. Oh, you meant with the actual the talking. Is it verbose talking? Is that what it's called? Thank you for adding another little smidge to my vocabulary. After smoking that doobie, Melt will be speaking the language of the gods. Yes. Hopefully I will be able to. Not because I want to, just blab my gums if I can speak the language of the gods, but because I would just want to be able to just listen, right? If I can speak it, I'm assuming I can understand it. And then I have a lot to learn. I'll just, sit in silence for the next 50 years. And then I'll come back to you, friends. Karma means there is a moral categorization. Categorization. It is categorization, at least the way you spelt it, of deed or intent. And then there is an arbiter of justice that disticates such, and then the act of justice in a way that was never seen supernatural. I don't know, it sounds human to me. Yeah. Again, it's like based or built on the fact that there's going to be some being, some divinity that is judging, right? Or what's the word you used exactly? Determines, the arbiter. Yeah. I believe that there is supposed to be experience, and you can induce within your own life a divine experience. And as a result of that, I believe your consciousness is going to be more divine or more high frequency vibrating as a result of that. And then because of this state that you've induced within yourself, because of the choices that you've made, you're going to experience, the result of that. Not necessarily, like, it's almost like you choosing to press a button, while you're in a spaceship. If you press the button, you're accelerating upwards. If you press it downwards, you're accelerating downwards. And it's you pressing this button. There's no like karma, like there's nothing bad of going up or down this like cosmic spaceship. It could go up and down in dimensions, for example. But it is going to be an experience. And some experiences are arguably more enjoyable than other experiences, like dying to a tsunami, for example. That must be an absolutely terrifying and like awe-inspiring experience. Like imagine just watching this 120-meter wave, dude, just come towards you, encapsulate you, and then drown you. Like sure, I don't want to, like none of us want to pass away that way, but that is an experience. Like, right? How many of us can say we have felt the fear, our heart beating, the awe of watching a 120-meter wave like encapsulate, consume us? None of us can say we've had that experience, because that experience is divine in nature and has happened to some people. Like, it's not something we want necessarily for every single one of us, but I believe it was supposed to be in that way so that it can be in the way that it was, right? Everything exists. Everything should exist because it exists. Everything exists for a reason at the end of the day. And it's not for us to say whether they're good or bad. They just are. They just are. You make music. I've made a bit of music, dude, but nothing I can say I'm proud of. Interesting perspective, Toasty. Gives me something to ponder. Yeah, it made me ponder for quite a bit. No spoilers. I'm gonna watch it later. No spoilers at all, my friend. I won't. Like, I don't think it is something you can spoil. Like, I could literally tell you scene for scene what happened, and it would still be a fantastic movie if you just watch it, because you have to watch it. It's visual and audible and it's storytelling. So, like, vocal wouldn't, or my words wouldn't serve it. Your shirt is too angry. Yeah, I feel it, dude. It's been eating me up. Arpad. Oh my goodness, not today. I hope it's still going. I'm guessing it still is. We're going strong. I'm happy. Arpan making Estian look like a glitchy out old Peter Parker. Melt, remember when you decided a picture that Jovan drew perfectly and then had never seen it? Yeah, that was nuts. Describe the picture that Jovan drew perfectly and had never seen it. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, how do we explain stuff like that? Because, like, at what point are we gonna say, like, okay, these things, oh, they happen sometimes. Like, okay, like the problem, I feel, like I said, I feel it is a problem for me, is how much significance are we supposed to attach to stuff like that? Like, we don't want to pretend like this is the most important, most significant thing that has ever happened. But I also don't want to pretend like it means absolutely nothing. So I'm like confused as to where in the spectrum I'm supposed to fall in my feeling about these things. Maybe that's a judgment of it. Maybe I'm not supposed to expect a spectrum. Maybe I'm just supposed to feel into the immediate fact of my felt experience, right? Life, the power of the human brain. It's an antenna, if anything. I don't believe consciousness is produced by the brain. I don't believe it. I was watching a podcast by Joe Rogan and a space dude. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, space dude. But he was talking about, he believes that our consciousness is, just a sum of the electrical and chemical processes in our brains. And I do believe our consciousness is affected by these things because it affects the perception of things that is observed by this consciousness. But I do not believe that it produces that consciousness. I also visualize myself removing negative energy from my skull for headaches. Yeah, dude. Like, I literally, like, I visualize it as something stuck in there, and then I'll pull it out, dude, slowly. And then I'll continue doing this hand motion, imagining, like, this little thread being caught between my fingers, right? And then continue pulling for as long as I can. Working more on my book. today, some more lazy day today, so nothing but working on the book and playing with the kids. It sounds like an absolutely fantastic day to me. Dude, like, I want to still see this book. Candace, please, my friend, share with us. You are what you consume. Yeah, that's true, my friend. I do believe that. I believe not only are you, not only are you are. I don't. Words are getting difficult again. I believe you're not only the things that you consume, but you're also the things you're choosing to produce. So it goes both ways. Oh, I'm sure someone has an account you can piggyback on. Oh, the Disney Plus. If I ever get Disney Plus, I'll give you my rocket milk. Thank you, friends. That's so beautiful. According to that, I am a half water and half gummy vitamins. Have you seen your copycat imposter who streamed yesterday? I haven't, but I mean, is he a copycat imposter? I don't really think so. I mean, he's a human being, or she's, I don't know who it is. I would love to see it, just to, like, give them some encouragement. Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just a human being on planet Earth. Just like you are, friend. That we're all these human beings. Not human doings. Human beings. And we get to be in our own divine ways. And if someone feels, a need to be an imposter or a copycat, I believe that is them recognizing a certain way of being, a certain energy, and then trying to emulate, to feel what that energy would feel like. And I believe that emulation, that experimentation with your own ability to induce energy states within yourself can be extremely enlightening. So I 100% encourage him or her or it or whatever they identify as. I would love to see it though. Please do share it with me, King. Hello and good energy today to you, my friend. Thank you. Good energy to you as well. I appreciate you. I don't think South Africa has access to Disney Plus yet, do you? I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. You look like the dude from the Hanes underwear commercial. Okay, so I think that's the first time we got it on stream, but I actually went and watched that Hanes underwear commercial, and it's uncanny. It's kind of uncanny. Like, I feel like that is also something that is synchronous in its own way. I'm like, what's happening? The Hanes commercial. Dude, that Hanes commercial was too uncanny. Like, I feel like it's almost, yeah, it's just the synchronicity, dude. Flap your lips, you mean? Yeah, flap them lips. Flap gums, flap lips. I'm gonna get flapped, dude. Lamau Estian morning dance in the morning, doing a Hanes commercial. Damn it, I'll do Hanes commercials if I get paid for it. If I can make a living off of selling underwear, I mean, like, I've done worse. I've sold equipment, like IT equipment, which is literally based on the fact. And okay, so I probably shouldn't be talking about stuff like this. Did I sign any non-disclosure agreements? I didn't actually. So in the industry that I was working in, we were working in like the integration of like IP equipment. So be it your telephones, be it a system to project your laptop screen onto the actual venue screen and speaker system, be it microphones, be it speaker setups. Like, we would install stuff like this. But we would install from like fancy brands, right? Like, we were like directly in contact with Bose and Crestron for like the IP stuff. And as a result of this like partnership you have with these companies, you can basically charge people that you integrate to, sell the equipment you're just selling them for double the price, sometimes even more than that. And like, it's great for you as a salesperson, because that's what I was doing. I was making money selling that stuff. But I'm like literally up, like marking that stuff up by like 100%. Like something costs $200, and then we're just like $400 for this item, and I was like, I mean, I was doing it because I mean I needed to eat stuff. So I would rather sell underwear than do that. I'm not even joking. Yeah, okay, Haynes commercial guy. Is your favorite Pokemon Hypno? My favorite Pokemon. I've never actually genuinely considered that question. Hmm. You see, if I was to choose myself a Pokemon, I would want something that I can have as a companion. You know, like I would probably pick a Charizard as a dragon form, just because I want a dragon. You know, I know technically it's not like a dragon type or whatever, but damn it, it's a big lizard with wings. What do you want from me? Joint went out again. That happens quite a lot, my friend. You'll notice. Mm, not to sound weird, but you're adorable. Thank you, friend. I appreciate your love. It's all energy links between all living beings, like little information highways, much like the internet. I do feel that. Get out of my brain. That's exactly what I've been thinking about all day. How much stock to take in synchronicity, dude. And now this is another synchronous event, dude, huh? Stacks, dude. Stacks and stacks of stacks of synchronicities. What book? What book? I don't think I was talking about a book. Was I? Maybe. I feel like the universe is saying, "Hey, put this in your pocket." But at this point, I think I need a backpack. Yeah, exactly. So, like how I've been thinking about synchronistic events, Jovan, is instead of like because I've been thinking about it a lot, and with the question, now that Toasty brought it up again as well, with the question of how much weight are we supposed to like apply, if you will, over these happenings. I think of it as just encouragement at this point. If I see something synchronistic, be it in numbers, be it in thoughts being shared with other people, be it in finding myself in a place at the right time, those type of things. I'm just seeing it now instead of like as this crazy like message that is being like very specific about what it is I'm going through exactly in that moment. I'm thinking of it more as like just encouragement, as like a thumbs up, like yeah, you go, yeah, do it, yeah. Like every time like something synchronistic happens, like the fact that we both we're thinking about synchronicity and how much value to apply to it. And the fact that we like a bunch of us watch the same creator's content at basically the same time, or shared it at the exact same time with one another. Like instead of thinking of it like, oh goodness, it must mean that synchronicity is the most important thing, and Bo Burnham is like the ultimate creator because we all came together at the same time. Instead of thinking of it like that way, I'm thinking of it as just like a yeah, you're doing the right things. You were supposed to see this content to make you feel what you're supposed to feel of it, to inspire you in the way that you were supposed to be inspired. You're supposed to think about these synchronistic events and understand how you're supposed to integrate it within your life. It's just this like again, it's a thumbs up. That's how I'm thinking of it. How do you fins like feel about it? Do you think that's like a good way of explaining it at least? Hey, what's up? Hey, Chow. It's nice to have you here, friend. I'm doing good. I actually got to tune into Chow's like post as well, or live stream, if you will. And yeah, Chow got his backup. Was supposed to be his alternative account, and now it's just his main account at this point. I might have a copycat too. You do. We do. We have Magosti, dude. A copycat is a compliment. Yeah. What is that? One quote someone said on stream. I think imitation is the highest form of flattery, or something like that. Yo, what commercial? Sorry, I'm multitasking. No worry, my friend. It's a Haynes commercial. Like, I'll check if I can find it on YouTube and share it with you, and maybe the Where the Meme channel. Oh man, it's very interesting, dude. It's very very interesting. Someone drop it in the Discord. I'm so excited to see it, lol. You're gonna laugh, bro. It's mildly cringe, but I think it's the point. Like they're kind of leaning into the cringe with the character they're portraying. It just so happens that it feels like maybe they're portraying me as a character as well, dude. And it's like, what? What? Dude, it's a trip, man. It's such a trip. Bro, you would obviously pick uh, and Eve. You would obviously pick and Eva. I feel like I'm tripping, dude. I don't understand what you're saying. Haynes guy pick dropped in the general Discord channel. You've done it, dude. You've done it. Do you believe balance? Oh no! The Haynes commercial is coming back to my memory. You need to maintain balance. There's a snippet, dude. Do you believe souls gravitate to each other in different lifetimes, or we re-enter each other's lives? So, like, what I think about it is almost like it's a difficult thing to explain, but let me share at least some sort of understanding I feel I have of it, because I don't know anything. Obviously, I don't know anything, but this is one way I've thought about it. So if like we've lived this life, right? If okay, like this, let's establish a few things before I get into this. Let's establish first and foremost that the I consciousness that we are all experiencing is the exact same I consciousness. So that's saying, in essence, we are the same being experiencing different lives. Now, let's say this this being can kind of form a certain like expression of soul, which is the soul that we have right now as well. And then this soul maybe like has some sort of journey to get back to that source, if that makes any sense. And then in getting back to this source, maybe the soul starts from the furthest point from it, where it's in complete darkness. You know, it has no clue of its divinity, and then it like slowly awakens, you know, to its unity with source, with God. Man, I'm getting cold. It slowly, you know what? I'm just gonna ease into the cold. Like, there's no use in me fighting it by shaking. So by almost reawakening, you know, coming from that complete asleep state to being completely awake and present and aware of your union with source, with God. And like maybe in this process, you know, in this, like, if it's a spectrum from a 0 to a 1, like maybe there is I'm like, let's say 0.555, right? That being a number on the spectrum of where you're at in this process. And then other beings happen to be, you know, 1 or like 0.544, and another person is 0.566, you know? Like, you're still in the same range, if you will. And then as a result of that, you find people that you can resonate with because you resonate on the same frequency. And then as a result of having people that resonate in your frequency, you can also, I believe, uplift one another's frequencies, like by almost expanding the range, you know, of what you know is possible. Does this make sense? I know it's a little bit of woo-wah, you know, out there type of thinking, but it is esoteric in nature at the end of the day, and we don't know. I don't know. This is just a mad person's ravings, if you will. Uh, I have never seen that commercial. Now we've like really put the well, we really have the cat out of the bag, if you will, is a way to say it. Everybody's gonna know now. I've been spending a lot of time thinking of this. I believe both. So I like that. I think I've explained it to the extent that I feel comfortable of saying anything about it, because I don't know. At the end of the day, this is just my imagination of it. Thank you, Nate. Do you have time? You shoot for to stream. I'm trying to stay on point this week, but still want to pop in and say hi. I've been having problems with discipline lately, so any positive influences would be amazing this week. It's nice to have you here, friend. Vomit Slag. It's nice to have you here. Absolutely. I do stream around 4:10 to 4:20 p.m. every day. My time, South Africa time. I think it's like 9 a.m. Central Eastern time. I'm not sure. I should actually just get those basics and put it like in the banner. I'll do that. I'll do it. I'll get to it. But thank you for being here, friend. Like we're happy to have you here as well. Thank you for sharing your presence with us. What is it you want, motivation in doing? What is it you feel you lack discipline in? If you don't mind, like sharing with us. Trying to get back to work this week. Definitely to keep positive. Thoughts in our minds. Positivity. My friend, it's okay to have negative thoughts as well. Mm. I feel today, especially that I was actually dealing with negative thoughts, and it was, I think judgmental in nature. I can't even because I tried to put it out of my head. I can't even remember what it was about though, but it was this like feeling of, I think, resentment or like just disconnect with like some sort of person or like something happening. I think it was actually the Jeff Bezos song. Like that's actually the song that kind of like stuck in my head. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jeff Bezos. You've done it, dude. You've done it. Now stop, please. Please stop. And I think I was like getting myself into like arriving of like getting angry and angry and angry and angrier. And I was like, dude, just you should stop as well, man. Like you're literally eating yourself up. For what? For what? Yes, it can be a hard daily task, Vomit, but we must push through and find our happiness. Absolutely. Join the Discord for stream notifications. Yeah, you can do that as well. We do have Discord, and it drops stream notifications that you can tune into. I was out in the sun and the water all weekend, so I just want to keep that feeling of sunshine going, which is easy if I'm just mindful and somewhat self-aware. Yeah. Again, as you said, like being mindful of your current experience and the stuff that you have. That sunshine can literally come from having a clean glass of water, dude. Just having a clean glass of water to drink. The ridiculousness of the fact that there are people on this planet that don't have access to clean water and stuff. Man, I'm getting myself worked up. Oh, getting myself worked up. We're gonna change things, friends. I like thinking about that. I feel like there are people I meet who I feel I've known my whole life. And the funny thing is, those experiences usually don't lead to close friendships, more like a feeling of deep, temporary kinship and respect, like two ships in the night. It's like that recognition, right? It's the definition of namaste. I recognize the divinity in you. It's definitely a kinship, as you said, my friend. Have any of you read the Kabbalion? I have, Nate. I have read the Kabbalion. Professor Gu, actually suggested I read the Kabbalion on a stream that he did, and I took him up on that offer, and I did. It's a it's a really cool book. The gist that's shared in the Kabbalion, the real thing you have to understand, is that the all is mental. Like the thing is, the Kabbalion makes like definite statements as well, which you know me a little bit. I kick against. I try not to. Like I do share things obviously, and I do believe in some definites like love and forgiveness is higher divinity. Fear and judgment is lower divinity. Those are the two like absolutes that I'll take a stance on, but that's it. That's literally that's it. So in the Kabbalion, it takes a stance that the all is mental. So, and this is something I do feel that I resonate with as well in my understanding. I need to calm down again with the freaking shaking. I'm so cold and my body wants to like, but I'm trying to override my instinct to do that. Okay. So, the all is mental. If God was to create, right? If an infinite God was to create this universe, it wouldn't create in the ways that we like expect ourselves to create usually in this world. It wouldn't create by taking, for example, a tree and turning it into furniture. It would also not create by, procreation, because there's no duality in God. And in the same sense, with it being no duality, God can't create something out of something outside of itself, like the tree would be outside of ourselves. So the only way that in this understanding of it, God would create would be mentally, with the imagination, as a dream or as a thought construct. And that's basically the understanding of, or at least the understanding that the Kabbalion tries to share. And then by understanding that the all is mental, and you realize that you have that same mental capacity to create, you can influence the life that you live as a result of you being more mentally aware, if you will. I live in Central Time, and it's usually between 9 to 9:20 a.m. when Mail's notification shows up for me. Thank you, Jacob. That's perfect, friend. Yeah, it's around that time. I'm finding it hard to relate to people in my daily life. I feel like I've changed, and I finally am accepting who I am and where I came from, and the people really get angry with me, honestly. I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. Like, at the end of the day, you should realize as well, like, they're just, at least in one understanding of it, the same eye consciousness. So you looking back at you and then maybe seeing something that they feel they lack with inside of themselves. And that's why people get angry or resentful, or they attract themselves or subtract themselves away from you. It's not because of something that you did. It's because of something they feel they lack with inside of themselves. And all you can do is provide that for them regardless. To like take it away because they don't want it would not be divine of human nature, because you should be giving without the expectation of being received. I've been pretty decent toasty, a little more on the anxious side lately, but good otherwise. How about you, dude? I feel like I'm anxious right now because of how cold I am, and I'm like kind of shaking. So I'm joining you in some of the anxiety, if you will. Stay true to your intention and grow management. I relate so much to that. Yeah, I think we all do, friends. Like, I'm dealing with the same thing. I don't think it's something that's escapable in this journey, because some people won't feel like they understand or relate to what it is you're saying. And that's okay. Not everybody has to. If we force everybody to understand the same things we understood and feel about the things that we feel about in the same way, it wouldn't exactly be a perfect society. Hugs are appreciated and being reciprocated. There we go. I've not read that, Nate. It's a good one, Lisa. It's like a cool way of just, equipping yourself with new ways to think about things. I just believe like the more we understand about our own nature and about the nature of life, like the more mental space or scape we have inside of ourselves, if that makes sense. Like that's something we were talking about on the podcast this Saturday as well. How like they're quite literally in a few billion years, a lot of billion years, with the ever expanding nature of the universe, be individual galaxies that are in complete darkness, and they can see no other galaxies outside of it, and they can travel to no other galaxies because they're expanding infinitely fast away from it, like, or exponentially faster away from it, faster than the speed of light, basically, which is a trip. But anyway, so they're going to be potentially species or civilizations born in galaxies where they think the only thing there is a galaxy. There's no universe with billions of galaxies, right? Like, galaxies are specks in the universe. So imagine if instead of knowing that galaxies are specks in the universe, you think the galaxy is all there is to the universe. Like, what a difference in mindscape capacity that is. And that's the crazy thing about human beings, is the fact that we're so small. Oh goodness, we're inconceivably small. Like, if you actually had the, like, because we have an understanding of it but we don't really have a grasp on it. If you actually had a grasp on the scale of the universe, human beings are inconceivably small, like so small you cannot even perceive them. And yet we can understand that. We understand that we are impermanent. We understand that our entire universe at the end of the day dies in the heat death of the universe, right? So everything is impermanent, literally everything. And yet we have this right now. An infinite amount to be grateful for. Ooh, man. Ooh, I feel like my muscles flexing to try and keep me warm. Because I feel like I'm fighting the shakes now. And the fighting of the shakes is now also creating tension. So I should fight the shakes without creating tension. Think I'm doing it. You're welcome. Feel free to add me. I'm into all kinds of trippy shit. There we go. You have a friend to talk to. You should also look into the Goblin verse. I don't know about the Goblin verse. Hey, Harley. Morning Melt. Hope you've had a wonderful day. Love and light to you and yours. Thank you so much, Harley. Same to you. Send my love to the kids and the husband. And obviously, I'm sending my love directly to you as well. I'll add you so we can chat later, Popcorn. There we go. Hey, Aaron is here as well. Had a rough weekend. Partied too hard and relapsed on the cigarettes. I'm back on track today. Love it. Moving forward and not getting stuck. There we go. That's perfect. That's exactly what you should do. Like, it's not about, falling off of the horse. It's about getting back on the horse. Making sure you still show up to ride the horse, even though the horse throws you off and you, fell on your ass. It's not about, sitting and, damn it, I'm on my ass again. No. Get up. Just walk again. Thank you, my friend, for sharing that with us, for being so vulnerable with us. You're doing fine, my friend. If you can get up and walk again, then you're doing fine. We're here with you, sending you the vibes, dude. Hey, Ari, sorry to hear you struggled this weekend, my friend. Hoping this week is better for you, dude. You've got this. I do believe that as well. Did you know photons, light... Oh, really? Don't experience time. Yeah, they're timeless. Light is timeless. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. Like, when we go into the quantum realm, like, we think of electrons, as physical things, as are like parts of space, of reality, of matter, if you will. But we can't do that. We can't do that. Like, not at all. The math we have is, like predicting where things can be instead of trying to predict where things are. Quantum theory and string theory is a whole other mess, and we can't get our current general relativity and quantum theory to kiss. They don't fit. It's like two, like this one puzzle piece is like doing this, and the one puzzle piece is like this, and you're like trying to bring these two things together. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do right now, and it's hilarious. We're trying though. So much energy being sent your way, Aaron. You got this. You got this, friend. Every time. I'm gonna read a comment like that. I'm sending you some more energy as well. Let's all channel energy to break the bond of addiction. I will, at least. We can. I'm asking myself, like, what the nature of addiction is. Is it an attachment? Because I don't feel it's a fear, and I don't feel it's a judgment, right? It can be seen technically as a love of something. But maybe it's just in recognizing that some things that you might, love in a moment can be detrimental to you in the long run. Especially when it's something, like I feel like a little bit hypocritical in saying this as well because I'm smoking a joint. But we know that cigarettes are significantly worse for you than smoking a joint. I think the problem with cigarettes is more the frequency at which we smoke them. If you were smoking like a single cigarette a day, Aaron, I think that would be fine. And like, I'm not a medical professional, but I think that would be better for you than smoking like a pack a day, because that's what a lot of people do. I know people that smoke 2 packs a day, and it's just like something they do. I'm like, oh my god, you need to stop. And that's the thing. Like, I think maybe just that's the thing. Like, the thing you're breaking the addiction for is love of yourself. You take your love for something, and you give it to yourself, and that's why you're breaking the addiction. Not because you feel like you're punishing yourself for something, because you're like, oh, no more doing this thing because it's bad for you. No, it's, I love you too much for you to continue doing this thing because it's bad for you, right? It's maybe just the mindset. Where's your blanket? What's the temperature there? It's about like maybe 8 degrees Celsius, like maybe between 8 and 5 degrees Celsius. And that popcorn, join Discord so you can share. Yeah, please do. I feel that. The Goblin verse, in a nutshell, theorizes all the paranormal stuff people encounter in life, and all the same thing, switching masks for its audience. Okay, that's really interesting. Take a big old rip of that J. Always warms me right up after coughing. Maybe I should do that, Nate. You got this, A-Doc. And your outlook as an inspiration as well. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us, friend. Bro, I love when you get get on a roll. Just putting mad facts about perspective. Thank you for sharing this like perspective with me as well at the end of the day, dude. I feel like I kind of stumbled into stream today in a way. Like I was like a bumbling mess at the start. We set the intention for articulation and the ridiculousness of life. And there's a lot of perspective to be had in just that understanding of things. So here we go, friend. This is a co-created experience. Thank you. Like how everyone used to see You'll be abducted by fairies, and now we experience UFOs, aliens, with the same outcome. So I'm like, now I'm curious. I'm not judging at all, but do you believe this is our reality? Do you believe this is the fact, and this is the reason why things are happening the way that they are? Or is this just a idea that you're suggesting to understand things? No judgment on either perspective. I'm just really curious because I want to ask questions as a result of that. I'm a fan of the puzzle piece. The puzzle piece? Is the puzzle piece something? Like, the puzzle piece is like an individual thing that you can point to, or like I'm mildly confused. Um, that maybe the fan of the puzzle piece that I was describing. Quantum science and physics is mind blowing. The size of particles, the concepts are beyond me. The fact that we're in 99, point how many decimals percent of empty space, right here. Like, we think of ourselves as these physical beings, right? I can touch myself and I don't phase through myself. And yet, if I like had an electron microscope and I go down to the like smallest of atoms, there's just like this atom and then like fields, of empty space. And then an electron just being in like a quantum state around that thing as well. Maybe it's a field. Maybe it's a whole ring. Maybe it's a small particle. We don't actually know. We're trying to figure it out though. Thank you all for the support. I feel the energy you're all sending. Absolutely. For me, addiction comes from many sources: trauma, self-hate, desire. I could go on. Okay. Well, I feel like I want to almost unpack trauma, self-hate, and desire. So, I feel like addiction is the imbalance of physical and spiritual ecstasy. That's really cool as well. I've not thought about it in that way either. How did the puzzle piece go? Just like a fluctuating mess. And then like if you try and then like fit this thing, it has to like be in some sort of fluctuation of what it's supposed to be, right? That's the thing with quantum states. It's like not only are you influencing it by trying to observe it, you're also possibly like creating a reality by observing it. Yeah, synchronicity right there. Absolutely. Self love, healing, and releasing attachment is the way out of addiction and discipline. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Like, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. Oh, I think it was Alan Watts who had an awesome lecture on addiction. I'll send it to you. That sounds amazing. Thank you. I'm going to smoke a little with you this morning. I don't normally smoke in the morning, but I've had my coffee. It will be nice to smoke from across the world. So cheers. The pot was a gift, so a blessing to us. Thank you so much for smoking with me, my friend. Sending you so much love and light. Please do. Thank you. Maybe I'll make a Discord sometime today. Please do, friend. Then you can join us. Alan Watts was truly a treasure. He really was. Also a man I would just want to, sit down and have a conversation with. This has been a Rocksteady stream. What a vibe. Yeah. Arpan, thank you. Thank you, my friends. You've been great. I believe reality is liquid and in constant flux. Yeah, friend, I believe that as well. That's why we have named this experience Melt More. It's that liquid flux, dude. We're all just big old goo on this planet, like an organism, like a fungus, moving ourselves places, jumping out of planes, falling down to the surface with parachutes, building houses, having children. We're an interesting species, dude. I've been missing being here with you all. We miss you as well, Aaron. Thank you for joining us, my friend. You were loved and you've been missed as well. Hey, Mel. Thank you for doing this, brother. I feel like I don't say it enough. Thank you for creating the space we can share every day. Thank you, Toasty, for sharing the space with me, friend. Like it's not the same without you. That's the thing as well, and that's the case of our entire planet. It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for us being here, and we get to be a small part of that, or we get to be a large part of that, and it comes down to a choice at the end of the day. You know, how much do you feel you have to do in the moment? When it comes to your social interactions, when it comes to the way you treat yourself as well. It's a choice. Second to Toasty, I am eternally grateful for Mel, the space, and all of you. And I'm eternally grateful for all of you as well, friends. Thank you for being who you are. Like, this is such a blessed experience to just be in the same time with you, friends. To be able to have, I want to put in quotation marks, stumbled upon each other in this grand universe, to feel that the true essence of what we are resonate with what we want to share with one another. It's something I'm eternally grateful for. It makes me so happy. I feel that I've expressed too much. Let's say thank you, friends. Like, you are absolutely beautiful. Law and order are one rule, and chaos is the other. I think they both exist. Do you feel that? Our own DNA has random mutations, and so does the universe. Growth is 99 predicted, and that 1% chaos is for growth, lessons, and advancement. So, like, I think it's the other way around, actually, my friend. I think it's like mostly chaos, and then there are these like clusters, like these concentrations of synchronicity, of like order that form, inside of that chaos. And that's what we kind of see with our universe and with the physical beings that we are. We call ourselves as humans. I appreciate you, friends, for sharing the space with me. I'll see you again tomorrow, everyone. Love and light to you.